Well, the YouTube Careful Sight here. Tonight we are going to do a movie review on Halloween Ends. I hate to say it, but I am slightly disappointed in this movie. There could have been a little more done to it, a little less done to it, and all in all, it was just, man, action-packed, yes. Concept of movie, very, I want to say that it was slapped together, and I'm kind of very disappointed in it. And I also want to say that, they, didn't really think this one out, I think. But, the ending of it was good up until a point. In the beginning, what should have been, done, in my opinion, because like I said, how they went and did this movie was not well thought out. Now, I know John Carpenter gave the approval, but he was not the writer on this, the full writer on this. And don't get me wrong, man, and believe me, this movie does have some, good scenes. The ending is good. I mean, at the very end, the fight between, I could say, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Michael Myers. But what they did to him in the end, which of course I will not reveal, check that out yourself, was pretty damn good in the part, why they didn't think of this, in all the other movies besides letting them spawn out, but of course, evil never dies. But like I say, the way they ended this is just, Now, in the beginning, I do like the thing they did here with the pumpkins, ripping out of faces of other pumpkins. That was cool. But, in the beginning of what they did not do what they did in part 1, Halloween, and part 2, Halloween Kills. Which in part 1, or was it part 1? No, part 2, excuse me. Part 2, they literally bring in, the whole scenario behind 1978, the original. So, I don't know why they didn't call Halloween Reborn in the first one instead of Halloween, like the original Halloween. But what they did, like I said in part 2, bringing back the memories, bringing back the, the history. They did not do it in this one. They literally go immediate right into a babysitter and a kid. Check out the pictures that I took. Now, this is the thing. There was not a lot of pictures I could take in this movie, of the action in it. Which, don't get me wrong, it did have a lot of good action in it, horror-wise, but it was more or less seeking out this new person. Now, I don't know if this kid, which he's right there wearing the scarecrow mask. Now, I don't know if this kid was from the original 1978. If you remember in the it was in Halloween Kills, when they bring back the original. A kid gets pushed to the ground or falls because the police are telling the kids to get home. The boogeyman's out. Man in a white mask. And this kid falls, meets with Michael Myers. God damn it, excuse me. And I want to say he was also in the first one, maybe getting bullied too. But Tommy was getting bullied too, also. And there might have been another kid, but I'd have to look into that. But this kid, I want to say, if this is him, now this is the new guy. This is the new character. So like I said, I don't know if he's new, but somehow he gets dragged into this sewer. Boom, meets up with Michael. And, you know, staring in his eyes. And so this kid here, now in the beginning of the movie, he is babysitting. Now I could have sworn, and I think I get the concept, but because it happened so fast, I don't know if it did happen this way or if it just did what the way it was done. Which the kid, you know, he's a little runt, one of them little character kids that like to play tricks on people or get cocky with people, and you know, the scenario of a little bratty kid. And they was talking about something, and this guy here gets mad and said, "You're going to bed in 5 minutes." So they had some conversation, and he got mad and walked away. Mind you, this little kid, this one was telling the little kid, "Hey, want to play hide and seek?" Kid's like, "Who wants to play hide and go seek?" You know. But remember this guy, I'll just go on with the pictures, because I do come up with a, I don't think I got that one. That was Michael Myers, pretty much one of his victims. I didn't get that picture. But anyways, he's sitting there. I think I did, but I don't know how I got it later on. They're watching a movie of a head getting ripped off, you know, and the kid's like, "Oh, yeah, this is a great movie." And he's telling them, "Let's go play hide and go seek." "I'm not playing hide and go seek." You know, this is one of them kids that think they're up to date and mature enough, right? But as soon as he pisses off the adult here, and he goes off to do something, probably go in the kitchen, get something to eat or something, I don't remember. But like I said, this movie's like, I don't know why they began it like this. And I'll get to that reason why in a minute. But all in all, the guy was looking for the kid, because now he goes back to the living room. The kid ain't there. And the kid, of course, he's going to play hide and go seek. So, you know, the friggin' leaves falling on me. But, so this guy's hysterically running around the house. The door was left open. And I could have sworn that when this happened, I want to say that Michael Myers was there. But all in all, in the end, because they did show another part, and it was when he got up to the part where he's looking into his eyes. Say so right here. I mean, this is when he found Michael Myers in a tunnel and staring him down and, you know, giving him the look and say so. And I want to say right this part, I went too far forward. And I want to say when he was looking into this part, I think I saw Michael Myers in the house. So the kid locks the door on the guy because he, like I say, he's running around frantic trying to look for the kid, ends up in the closet and the door gets locked. And before that happened, you hear the kid running around upstairs. And then when he gets locked in the room, you hear the kid laughing, hee 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 hee. But then you hear him say, or do something and grunt or something. So this guy's really not only peed off, but, you know, getting scared. The kid's out there, "Oh, you're scared of the dark," or whatever. He's, you know, mocking him and stuff and busting his chops. So the guy's literally starts kicking the door, and like anybody used to say back in the day, I'm gonna kill you, you little bastard, man. And he kicked the door open, and somehow the kid, like I said, this is where I thought I saw, Myers, let alone the door being kicked open, but whatever the concept was, and when you see this part here, you'll see him flash back into this part, and whether or not Michael Myers pushed him over or he kicked that door over and knocked him over the railing, 3 stories down, boof. So now this guy is labeled as a murderer. But he gets out of jail, or he's out on his own carcass, or it was ruled an accident. But of course, the town does not like this word accident, right? So now he's, the town, push around guy. Everybody don't like him. Everybody that comes across him, is always getting in his face. But Mrs. Laurie Strode's granddaughter thinks that this kid is having it rough, and she had it rough, and so she decides to take him out to a party, which I passed it again, which was all these pictures. And there's Laurie Strode's granddaughter, her friend, and that's him over there off to the left. So I took some pictures. Like I said, everything was going so fast in this movie. You couldn't really get any much pictures out of it. Especially the, attack scenes. But, so then this guy, I don't know, the mother of the child's at this party, comes up and confronts him, Then he gets all upset and, yells at the granddaughter and leaves. So, just to give you an insight, and I'll stop there because I don't want to give no one more information what they need to know, but so that's how pretty much the friggin' story begins. And like I said, he ends up, let's say, over a bridge near the sewer, and this is where this comes in. So he's near the sewer, and then that's where he finds Michael Myers after the party, because he left and he got an entanglement with some punk kids, also tormenting him for the fact of, being a child killer. Everybody's calling him a child killer. But in time, the guy starts getting very, after this meeting, and there's one thing I can say about Michael Myers, and maybe I'll stop it here and start to get into the part of what makes this movie so, just, So we got this kid, he's all through the beginning of the movie. So you're sitting here trying to comprehend why they put this person in here, why they put him into this predicament with this kid. Now, like I said, I could have sworn when he had the flashback here, Michael Myers was the one that pushed the kid off the railing, or whether or not he kicked the door open, he fell, or Michael Myers was there and pushed. You're thinking to yourself, where is this going? What has this got to do with anything? And it does get really, kind of like you're losing the story type thing. Now, like I said in the beginning, what they should have done, like the rerun of 78 into Halloween Kills, they should have put in, the ending of Halloween Kills and roll it into this one. Because, you don't see what happens to Michael Myers. You don't see how he escapes. You see little pieces of the puzzle in this one about the daughter getting killed. But you do not literally see it. It's all in a, And another thing is Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis now is writing a book or a memoir or something about her story of this whole incident from 78 till now, and the loss of a daughter, and talking about what an evil really is. So with that being said, now you got this story just going and spiraling out of loss of interest, because you're thinking, right, you're gonna roll into the part 2 movie, into the part 3, you'll find out how Michael Myers escaped, which what should have been done. And then if this was the kid that was getting bullied in the 78 rollover from Halloween Kills, then that would explain this kid, but being an adult now. But because he was getting bullied as a kid, now he's getting bullied as an adult. And yeah, having an accident type thing. But it don't tell you this. It don't go into that. Wait a minute. So, not knowing how this kid rolls into this movie, this one. God damn it. And who he is, like I said, it begins like this. It's all about this one person. It's all about an incident that happened. And then he meets Michael Myers, and then, things start happening. Now, I'm just thinking out a good way how to put this, because, like I say, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to ruin it. I would like people to go make their own judgment. But if if you're not gonna understand it like I'm understanding it, then I have to tell you as much as I can. But my belief is this is the kid in the Halloween Kills, right, where he got bullied, he got pushed down, then he's laying on the ground crying, don't hurt me, to Michael Myers, and then the cops grab him, and then Michael Myers disappears. So I want to say that's how this went. Now, Michael Myers, now you're going to be very, very right, kind of disappointed, because you got to remember one thing in this movie. And I'll just say it's simple, that Michael Myers, how can I say it? The best way to say this is getting old. And not only getting old, what my beliefs are from the second movie, Halloween Kills, is in the ending with his last beating he got, with the town beating the crap and piss out of him. What my beliefs are in this one is that, and you will see it, like I say, I try not to expose too much of the film, but to me, it looks like he really got beat up. He's older now, and it goes, all right, this is another thing that makes you shake your head and say, this movie is, it's 4 years later. So not only do you get an insight of, why the daughter was killed, or why she even went there to look through Michael Myers' window, get an answer of, what would make her go there, and, how Michael Myers escaped. This is what's going to go through your friggin' mind in the beginning of the movie. And you're sitting there, and that's what I did. And, my wife is a huge Halloween buff, just as well as I am, and she hates the movie. But if you don't get the concept like I'm saying it now, right, I'm sure you'll hate it too. But I'm thinking because Michael Myers got that beating, he's a little bit older now, I believe that the writers were trying to make him look like he's slowing down. And so that's why they brought in this kid. But it was not good to bring him in. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the film is good in ways, but right, the concept of the story is gonna make you lose sight of everything. So, like I said, try to keep it simple so I don't ruin the movie. And what else is in the concept of the movie to me is that, and you won't know the twist of this kid though. You know, you will believe and will kind of see that he could be the next Michael Myers, but something really insane twist comes about. And, but, you know, like I said, I can't reveal that. And it does make sense in the end, you know, of what this kid's point is. But it's just the fact of how they put him in there. You lose everything off from the Michael Myers franchise. You think this kid is, you know, this kid's pretty much, you know, the star of the film up until, you know, the point when he meets Michael Myers. But what he does and how Michael Myers gets brought back into the story, that's where it's lame. That's where you lose your concept. You lose your, you know, your liking of Michael Myers. And one thing I did like about this kid is he did begin to kill. And killing off the right people, I will say. You know, something I say should be done to the right people, not the innocent, the right people. Innocent people should never be killed unless they have a background of something. That's where I'm getting at. But you gotta watch the movie. I mean, I do recommend you watch the movie. The ending of it, like I said, how Halloween ends. And I mean, I guess even Jamie Lee Curtis said it's over. It is done. Oh, it was a damn good ending, I would say. Just to, you know, let it rest. And, you know, put down the last, you know, say 6 films that were done that were just, you know, completely horrible of the fact of how it was made. And for anybody to come out with the idea of Laurie Strode being Michael Myers' sister was always, you know, always something I always sat there and thought about and said, what the hell is this? How can that be her sister when she was just a babysitter? If you don't get the concept, why they did that off in Halloween 2 was beyond me. Even though Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, which was, you know, not bad. It wasn't as, you know, good as the first one, but it wasn't even half as bad as the other one. Especially Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That was one of the worst ones. I mean, that should have been a whole different name to that movie, but I mean, if it wasn't trying to be the concept of Michael Myers, it was a good movie, don't get me wrong. I liked it, you know, masks that hypnotize people and make people do, you know, crazy things. That was a pretty good concept, but running it in the Michael Myers franchise was very stupid. And I was very disappointed when I watched it back in 83 or 84 when it came out. You know, to say, well, where's Michael Myers? So, I mean, with that being said, just like this one, you're in the beginning, you're like, where's Michael Myers? But I mean, in all, I do recommend to watch it. It does have some good gore. If you're a gore fan, it does get some good, you know, it does have some good stuff in there. But if you can get back into the movie from the beginning and being lost from, you know, this main new star, and the only thing I can say that kept me, you know, trying to put my head around it is that he was a little kid that got bullied, you know, grown up to be a good kid, but still got bullied. and just snapped. And that's the way I put it. So, I mean, if you can think of it that way, I mean, that's the way I should think anybody should look at this movie. And remember, too, the concept of Michael Myers with his last beating in Halloween Kills. Right, in 4 years in that beating, you gotta think he got old. Good and old. I mean, there is an indication in this movie where you'll see that he is like, wow, what the hell? They're not moving like they used to. But, yeah. If you can stick that concept in your mind, you will get the story the way I did. Now, the fight scene. Is the ending, is Laurie Strode, Michael Myers. I mean, the only thing I can say about that, you know, my wife did make a good point, you know, these people kicking the shit out of him. He gets back up and weeps everybody's ass, and you just took one woman to kill him. Just took one person. Yeah, it didn't make sense. Now, I mean, what they should have done with the fight scene was what they did in the ending of Halloween Kills. I would say would bring back all the people that were alive, which they did do some in the old. I mean, from the second one, Halloween Kills, they did bring some people back, and you know, and they went and did their ritual of what they were gonna do with Michael Myers. But I think, yeah, it was a little bit kind of, you know, on the fight scene. It sure wasn't long enough. And it just didn't, you know, set right. So, I mean, this woman got her done good. But as you can see, this kid was at her house. And so wasn't he. So how did they both get at the house is the question. You gotta watch the film. This is the kid's mother. I mean, you can just imagine what happened to her. Kid's mother there that got bullied. Here's a DJ that bullied the kid. And as you can see, the DJ didn't do too well either. Yeah, cut that tongue right out. Big mouth. But everybody's bullying. Everybody got this kid. And this is the final scene with that kid and this person, which you have to watch the movie. As you can see, there's a gun. But what happens? Oh, yes. Mr. Michael Myers steps in. But, all in all, people, all in all. Oh, there's a pocketbook. I was thinking of maybe making one of these out of leather. But all in all, here's the ending, and you gotta find out to watch the movie. It did do good in the box office, and it, you know, it was alright in some ways, but, like I said, they really needed to sit down and think this one, and they didn't. To me, the concept I have in my head is what I really would have wanted to seen done. So that would be one, put back in, you know, the ending of Halloween Kills to figure everything out of what people did, how Michael Myers disappeared. Second would be, you know, to, would be to, you know, make sure that the character was who I said he was, the kid getting bullied at a young age. And if the kid, if he did see Michael Myers that night at the house when he was babysitting, I mean, you have to watch that part real quick. Whether he kicked the door open or Michael Myers was there, you know, whatever the case may be, he should have, I mean, this character shouldn't have made you get lost towards him. And 3, the fight scene with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers should have been a lot better and longer. I mean, yeah, you get the concept of, you know, these, but then again, you know, like I said, if there was a bunch of people in there to get to that fight, or whether it was her and him, if you remember the concept of him being old and beat up from the last fight, that's the only way you could say this fight went down the way it did. But I mean, like I said, there could have been more stuff added. There could have been stuff that didn't need to be in there. But all in all, I mean, I'd give this maybe a 3.5, maybe a 4 star. Only because of the ending part was pretty good on how Halloween ends. I mean, I was satisfied with that. But even that could have been longer too, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. But I wish they would have sat down more to think of how they were going to play this rollout. Because, like I said, in the beginning, between Laurie Strode writing a book, between this new character coming out, it was just way too long, you know, and then Michael Myers gets in there. And I mean, you're here to watch the man of the hour. You're here to watch the king of, you know, being the boogeyman. And you get this whole different other story. And it does it. It just gives you that fall off the track for a while and you just lost interest. But other than that, 3.5, 4 stars for me. Because like I said, there was some other stuff in there, especially this guy getting back, say so, at his bullies, that made me think, oh, maybe they're going to make Michael Myers look like a good guy in this movie, but they don't. But that's one thing I liked about that, too, about the kid and how it was portrayed between him and Michael Myers. Because as you can see, all through up into the end where you see the gun, him and Michael Myers were still alive. So, with that being said, you have to figure that one out. But how it was portrayed, in some ways, the movie was alright. And it is worth to check it out, to get your own perspective of it. But if you look at it from my perspective, you might get the idea of where I'm going with it. And you might say so like me, like it a little better. So enough said. So I'm sure this is the ending of Michael Myers is right. All we'll have to do is keep the old one and these 3 to heart. I don't know about the 3rd one here, but I'll definitely keep them 3. I mean, I like H2O and I like Resurrection. But the concept of, oh, that's his brother, her brother, no, that ain't good. Them were pretty good, but all the other ones, meh. Until the next video, I'm going to be giving my perspective on Hocus Pocus. Next movie review, I did get to watch that one. And I need to get over this woman, this freak show from Texas, talking about Hocus Pocus. Is going to make our kids, what? Oh my God. Sick world we live in, folks. I'm going to put that woman in her place. Until the next video, be safe, take care, and always enjoy Mr. Michael. And I'll end it like this. The way I think of it as Michael Myers is in this movie. Is in this movie of how I want to portray Michael Myers. Not killing the innocent, but what he does in the movie for a short period of time was friggin' awesome. And that's why I'll give it a 4 because of that. Out.